Good morning. Well, we're day 51 of the series, which means we are 10 days away from Leadville. 10 days. All right, we're back at the airport, heading out of state today, and I got some bags to bring. So carry-on bag, and I gotta check this bad boy for some testing. And it's rest day. It's freaking rest day, and I'm so excited for rest day. I mean, flying's a little bit of stress, but no actual like running volume, biking volume, strength work for the first time in 21 days, and I'm so stoked about it. I'm excited to have like a nice chill day and not to worry about getting stuff done with a bit busier schedule than normal. Let me tell you, a long sleeve shirt today, not to play. All right, through security. Picked a good lane today. Got through in like 7 minutes. So walk into A gates, get some food, then I'll hop on the train, go to the B gates and board. All right, we're boarding. All right, all aboard. Not very full yet. All right, made it to the hotel in Wisconsin. That was quite a long day. Even though I didn't actually train today, I think traveling in general is stressful enough. We had to sit on the tarmac for an hour, leaving Denver just based on some weather patterns and systems that were coming through the area, which is not atypical for Denver if you've ever flown through there before. And yeah, it ended up being from like leaving my door to entering the hotel door here like 5 minutes ago, it was like 7 hours. So a little bit of stress, even though I didn't have like training induced stress, and my headphones died mid-flight. So I had to sit with my thoughts for half the flight, which is a scary place to be sometimes. And yeah, so we're here now. I mean, it's fine. We're gonna get some dinner. But while we're on the kind of topic of rest and stress, I want to focus on the rest section of this portion of the equation. Rest days. Rest days are so important, and something that I haven't taken now for 20 some odd days, 28 days. So I'm not probably the best person to be speaking on this at this particular moment, but I found myself in a situation where I was up against the clock. I had 7 weeks or so to train for 100 miles, and my previous weeks leading up to this training block were like 30 to 40, 45 miles at the peak. So very, very much off what a typical 100-mile race build looks like. So the training block I wrote for myself involved some rest days early on in the first 4 weeks, and then just none for the last like 28, 30 days until this point now when we're starting our taper. Rest days are so important for the average or even the high quality, high output elite athletes. Not having rest day increases your likely for injury like dramatically. Your chances of getting injured just go way higher, because usually when you're not doing a rest day and you're actually training, you have more fatigue, more stress. Your body can adapt to that to a certain point, but also if you keep compounding on top of additional stress, it gets to a pretty risky point, especially when it's high mileage stress. Your legs can definitely feel the ramifications from that. So I would always advocate in a training block for rest days. Rest in general, rest days. Injury is an issue. I would say mood is probably an issue as well. I'm sure you can get my friends and family, Smith, that could come on here and talk about it, but it's definitely a mood issue sometimes when you're on high fatigue and you're always training and don't have time to kind of just reset and do the other things in life that are also priorities. And I would say the third most important thing is it allows you to hit higher quality when you take rest days. When you're adapting to stress constantly, your body's always in a state of fatigue. You can't put out the high quality sustained output week over week and stack that together as well. So we always talk about, I've always talked about it when I train my clients or when I train myself or when I have been talking to the camera every once in a while. Like, you can influence your training block based on frequency. So how many times per week you're doing something, duration, which is also kind of volume, which is how much of it you're doing. And then the third one is intensity. So because volume's super high and frequency is high, it's really hard to get that intensity that you really need to push your ceiling. Now, luckily for me, 100 milers just require you to kind of touch that every once in a while, but not live in that state. HYROX is a very different scale, which I won't get into, but it's more so focused on intensity opposed to volume. Rest days are not something I like doing. I think part of it is I'm addicted to training. I think I have a very addictive personality, and this is my vice. This is what I choose to pour my time in and my addiction into, is training and movement and going for a goal. So when I'm going for that goal, I want to spend as much energy and mental capacity as I can in pursuit of that, which is a blessing and a curse sometimes. But I think that rest days is something that I don't really do well, because I don't do well with, because I like to be moving in some capacity and doing something productive. And I've kind of reframed my mind over the course of the last few years while doing HYROX training to view rest days as productivity, as a productive act, because it allows me to recover, reset, and then attack those next workouts in the subsequent days harder. So this is not me this is not me crapping on rest days. This is me advocating for rest days are important in a structured training block, and they should be used strategically to help you offset some fatigue and stress in your body. So with that being said, this is my first rest day in 30 days. I'll have another rest day like Monday probably, and like next Monday, and then another rest day on the day prior to the 100-mile race. So I'll have 3 rest days in the span of 9 or 10 days, which is more than I've gotten, or actually probably the same amount of rest days I've gotten in the past entire block. So I should be going into the race with less fatigue, ready to tackle the 100 miles ahead, and ideally in a good mental frame to put myself through the pain of 100 miles. And I want to end this video today with, I think tomorrow there's a scheduled Zoom meeting for the athletes running Leadville 100. I think that's when we get to figure out what the actual rerouted course is. So obviously fire is affecting the area. The 100-mile bike that's happening 3 days from now has already been rerouted a little bit. Our 100-mile race on foot will also be rerouted similarly, I believe. So tomorrow we'll be able to figure out an actual race course with hopefully an elevation plot, and I can spend some more time over the weekend formulating my strategy for effort, for pacing, for fueling, for gear, all the good fun stuff, when I can see people at aid stations. And a clearer picture hopefully will be painted of what that entire day entails. A lot of talking. For 10 more days, we'll see you tomorrow.